Gorillaz. Song Machine Season 1 Strange Times Deluxe. It is 17 songs, an hour and 5 minutes long, sort of. The non-deluxe version ends at Momentary Bliss, so you would cut off 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 songs from that. So it's 11 songs.
So it ends at Momentary Bliss.
Yes.
Okay, good. Thank you for letting me know. So we will. Do we review?
I mean, with Disclosure, we like kind of did it with. It ends in Momentary Bliss. But we can talk about the other songs as well.
Okay. Okay. So that changes a lot on what I was going to say. Then perfect.
Yeah. Cool. I can find the runtime of Song Machine like Strange Times just to like get it exact. But really fast, of course, I'm a huge Gorillaz fan. I've talked about Gorillaz very much in a full bonus episode that we did very recently that you can go listen to understand their full history. It also sounds really cool because I put a lot of music in there. So anyways, that's fun. The overall, oh, by the way, the long version is 43 minutes long. And it's... To continue off of basically where we left off, I like how in the beginning of, like the end of the Now, Sukai is this sort of weird chaotic piano thing. Yes. And then Strange Times begins with a weird chaotic piano.
Yeah, I thought the same thing too. I thought that was pretty cool where it starts off.
Yeah, but in kind of Audioface fashion, when we know I have a bias or you have a bias, we let the other person go first. So what did you think about this album?
So... It's an interesting thing. Well, now since you said it ends at Momentary Bliss, I really enjoyed this album a lot, through and through. Strange Time starts off, fucking weird song. I like it. It's just literally Strange Times. It's a perfect thing, but like for like the first like minute and a half, it's just that weird piano going back and like Damon's voice going back and forth, and then it starts, the beat goes in, the bass gets in, and it's like you start to get it through, and it's like was Robert Smith's voice. I like the background, where he's like spinning around the world at night, and just going back and forth. You're like, all right, I can get on this. I could feel the theme of it starting out with that. I can get on board, and it was solid.
Say a couple things really fast? I've been trying to figure out what... I'll save some of that part for later. But it begins really... I've been trying to figure out what Gorillaz sound is right now.
In general?
Yeah.
Or this sounds like Gorillaz. This is definitely, they have a peculiar sound. Yeah, and it's hard to describe.
I think the way I can describe it now, because it's changed so much throughout the albums.
Yes.
But the Season 1 Strange Times sound is very melodic keyboards and pianos layered over very chaotic keyboards and pianos. Yes. With
really good bass
synths here, chill bass lines there, like fairly basic, but they get the job done. They layer the song really nicely. It's a very, very top-notch production. And then from there, just like genre bending.
It's just so like go crazy.
Take those elements and then put them into different things to fit the producers or the song, and that goes in a number of different places. And so that's kind of just like basically all of Gorillaz in one.
Yes.
It's because that's a little bit of the first album. That's a lot of Demon Days. It's a lot of Plastic Beach. Yes. It's even a lot of Humans, and it's even sometimes like The Fall and the Now, those other random ones.
For sure.
Here, it almost like feels a little more cohesive because that's a lot to put together and make cohesive. And it finally does, which is a Gorillaz problem.
Yeah, because the problem with especially Humans was Humans had some of my favorite tracks they produced, but it's so out there. It's just going back and forth. Like you have Ascension, you have the Beep Boop songs, I like to call it, the Telephone, Out of Mind,
Out of Body.
Out of Body. I always mess it up.
Yeah,
and just
Ticker Tape.
You have a lot in that
moments.
And then the Now I thought was a lot more cohesive. It just was a little slow for my taste, but some of it was amazing. And then this album, it starts off great. Strange Times, I already talked about it. The Valley of the Pagans with Beck. Fantastic collaboration.
It's a song I've been waiting for years.
Yeah, it's the perfect collaboration because, like, with the rock part of it, like, because you don't get to hear Gorillaz do rock a lot, really. Like, the last time was a little bit in Plastic Beach, but it's been a while.
More Demon Days,
it's more Demon Daisy and 192000. And I was like, oh my God, I haven't heard this in a minute. And it was fantastic. It gets you sucked into the album, those first two tracks. I really enjoyed it.
It feels like the Beck part feels like a bass line from like the New Pollution and Guero era.
Yeah,
so it's like very rocky.
Yeah.
And then, like you said, the Gorillaz thing where some melody here with some chaos over there. And then, goes into a nice sort of mid-aughts alternative song. But like it's very characteristic.
But it's still forward thinking. It's not like you just put a time capsule. It's just, wow, I've heard them play this in a while, but it sounds update and fresh, which is very hard to do, but it's good. Right after that, you have the Lost Chord with Lee John, and it slows it down a little bit, but it's that chill Gorillaz beat, which I like, and I'm glad they actually put that song there. One thing I will say about this album for sure, the placements of every song are perfect. I think they are absolutely perfect, especially when you told me it ends a momentary bliss. I'm like, this now makes a lot more sense. I now understand the album throughout.
There's a part in the album we'll get to later where I actually paused the album, yelled in my car, and I was like, that's fucking right, Damon! That's fucking right!
Yeah, but with the Lost Chord, I really like it. It's that perfect little bridge between the first two songs, which are like chaotic with a little bit of rock, and then you have Pac-Man with Schoolboy Q. Fucking love this song so much. It has
which you didn't in the first.
I did not like it at all when I first listened to it, but now in the context of the album, like this is the funky, weird Gorillaz that I like a lot. But alone by itself, when I listened to it, I didn't like. But in the context of the album, like holy shit, now I understand the song, and this shit's been on repeat now since it, and now it's fantastic.
Even so, I'll revisit this other thing. How do you feel about like Schoolboy Q's transition and going to the rest of his lyrics? Because I even kind of felt that like that was sort of awkward in the beginning, but later listens it's gotten better.
Makes sense now. I really enjoy it now with it because like the transition for it because of the Lost Chord being slowed down and because the song right after it, Chalk Tablet Towers of St. Vincent, it flows it perfectly into it because by a standalone song it's kind of awkward. But in the context of an album, now I understand it.
It's the slower part of the album. It's a sort of funkier, kind of like almost trip hop, like the original Gorillaz.
Exactly. It's like that's why I like it. And his flow is fantastic. I actually really like it in here. And I'm not a big fan of Schoolboy Q's work too much, but good.
I never thought I would think of a St. Vincent song as filler, but it's sort of just like kind of
I don't think it's filler. I think it's good actually because it's the only problem is I wish there was more of her on it because she doesn't do it as much like her voice and whatnot in it. It's just kind of going back and forth with Damon a little bit, but before stuff she's done before with Gorillaz, she's like very prevalent.
It's almost like Drum. Where like in the main mix of Andromeda, Drum is very understated, but there's other mixes of Andromeda where Drum is like the main part of it, and he really like makes that song kind of sing.
Exactly.
Even though Andromeda won awards, it was like one of the best songs on Humans, at least critically acclaimed songs. I think the drum-led versions are better, and the ones as basically the one we did live, where it has that sort of like him singing solo part.
But this is good. Chalk Tablet Towers is good. I can understand why you think it's filler, but it's good. I just again I wish she was more prevalent on it. It's like that perfect Gorillaz sound again. Like everything's still cohesive going to that point.
And I also felt the same way about Chalk Tablet Towers as I did to Binge. When I first heard it, it was like, okay, it's a fine song, but this is filler to me. Okay. And I've ended up liking Binge like years later a lot. And this could definitely happen as well.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Pink Phantom, holy shit.
Well, you know what's funny?
What?
I do not like this song at all.
Really?
This is one of my least favorite things they've put out in a long time.
This is incredible.
It might be because I have a bias against Elton John. I hate his voice and I hate his music. So that's probably why, but I don't know why, because after Chalk Tablet Towers, it's super slowed down. And just like, to me, it brings it to a halt when it didn't need to be like really halted then. I wish the only thing is either it could have been maybe switched with something, or you switched it with one of the songs that was on the deluxe version, and maybe you've done that. That's my issue with it. And I don't know, I didn't really like it.
Every Gorillaz album or project that has come out, at least since Demon Days, but I think including Demon Days as well. Actually, no, every single one, because you could go back with Que Pasa Contigo and the artist that was on that one, all the way down the line. And you've usually had a Gorillaz song that is kind of capstone in the center by a really powerful, like, male vocalist singer.
You can, for sure.
As well. And like a pretty decent like rapper that's in the middle. Like, of course, the obvious comparison is Stylo.
With
Bobby Womack
and
Steph.
Amazing.
Yasin Bey. Yeah, and this is a lot slower. Give it more listens, because like, every time,
interesting. My only issue is I don't like Elton John's voice. So with his cadence in it, it throws it off. I wish it was somebody else. I think is my issue. I actually don't even mind Black with the 6/6 clack, as I like to call him. I don't even mind his part in the song. I think he's actually good. And when the song came out, I didn't listen to it at all. I just want to wait for the album release. I remember reading it, people didn't like his part. I'm like, I don't see anything wrong with him being on the song. I think Elton John was a wrong pick for it.
I had the similar feeling as I did with Stylo listening to this, is that it's a lot of weird combinations. Somehow they made it fit together, and every successive time I listen to it, I find it more beautiful.
Okay, I can understand. I can definitely understand why you like it for sure. Yeah. It's one of my least favorite Gorillaz songs I've heard in a long time. The irony is right after.
Wait. Sorry, I'm not done.
Yeah, I know. You can go in. Go in.
I'm not the last thing I want to say is that it's very weird to have Black with a Sixes sort of rap part in the middle and kind of layered on the outskirts of it. It sort of feels like an afterthought in the song, and I think that's one of the things that Gorillaz does a little bit too much that I'll be nitpicky about, is that when they do have featured artists, it's like, okay, they're still backing vocals.
Yeah, exactly.
You could definitely put them there more. But my other thing is that a lot of times when Gorillaz songs have featured artists, the song construction gets kind of stale, because it's, okay, 2D part, featured artist, 2D part and featured artist, and song. It's like, that time I get kind of annoyed with it as well. So at least there's that kind of balance there. But again, I think that is a wild combination, and that song's gonna get better with time.
And then right after that, they make probably my favorite Gorillaz song ever made. Seriously, Aries is on my it is my most listened to song of this year, probably. I have literally had it on repeat since April when it came out. I fucking love everything about it. I just love it. It is featuring Peter Hook in Georgia, young Peter Hook, former member of Joy Division, New Order. And, him and Bernard Summers have a lot of beef, so he hasn't played New Order since 2011.
But there's going to be a podcast about that coming out soon, apparently.
There will, and I'm very excited to hear about it. But anyways, this song is just everything I love about Gorillaz. It has an amazing bass line in the background. It has the Damon vocals that, you feel like you're sitting in a car, just, chilling. This is what I grew up listening to. Yeah. And it's just everything I love about them, but still pushing forward, which is, always my biggest critique of artists. It's just, it's yummy.
Yeah. Then the album kind of takes, weirder sort
of weird turn with Friday the 13th for sure. Yeah.
And of the Song Machine projects, this was the one that I felt was kind of
this is the weakest for me.
This sounded like, and this is gonna be a callback, the Leica Come Home project, where it was basically Space Monkeys and Gorillaz.
Yeah.
They remixed the first album and made it more dubby.
Yes.
And sort of relaxed and chill. It's like that, but with fuzzier synths added here or there. And I mean, it's the Gorillaz thing of it's a fine song, but the thing I didn't want this to be was Humans, what ends up being a collection of songs.
Yeah.
And when you include it with the deluxe version, this included with a couple songs in the top, feel very, very it was just added as a collection of songs.
Yeah, with the deluxe version, I didn't like it for the deluxe version because it feels way too top heavy, and the deluxe part's okay, I don't like that. I really didn't like too many of the songs on the deluxe part, but stopping at Momentary Bliss, I like all these songs.
Really fast before we get into a future thing, because I thought of something also very funny. In the Song Machine Bites, which are these little things that go around, 2D says 6 lakh.
Does he really?
Yeah.
That is amazing. Because the other one I remember is Peter Hook's in the building when he's talking. Yeah.
It's hold up 6 lakh. 6 lakh. Yeah. I call that 6 lakh. It's perfect.
It's not just me. Great.
So yeah, Friday the 13th with Octavian. It's a chill song, but again, it feels like it brings the album's energy down a little bit.
Especially after Aries, which I wish no, I think it's actually fine for it. It slows it down a little bit too much, because then you also
we'd have a strong conversation about Dead Butterflies.
Because there's Dead Butterflies. First off, I never thought I would hear Mike Will made it on a Gorillaz song. That's just I heard that. I literally just paused and I'm like,
so I didn't even hear that in the beginning.
Oh, I heard it immediately in the beginning. I paused it and I was like, what?
Michael Maida has a second trap tag that's Metros. That's also later on in the song, in the intro.
Oh, that's the other trap.
And I was like, what? Because I've heard that trap intro for Ray Shremmer's songs.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm like, what? So it turns out Damon Albarn was in Atlanta semi-recently this year and was able to visit Earth Gang, and Mike Will made it.
Because I know Earth Gang they have a, which is one of the only tracks I like on the deluxe version part. I really like Opium, but we'll get to that later.
Yes. But this is very weird because Gorillaz, it's basically Mike Will made its trap production, not too much trap flair with it.
Yeah.
But then you combine
with Gorillaz weird
Gorillaz synth, but the synth is turned into the backing drums, so it's thumpy. The backing bass, so it's the thumpy super bass thing. And
it's weird chimes in the background too. It's just, it's an interesting project because I still don't know if I like it or I don't like it. I'm literally in the middle and I could be swayed either way. That's going to take...
I can describe it as a Mike Will made it song, produced to be trap and B, featuring Gorillaz, the bloke from Top Boy, and Roxanne Ayers. No,
Top Boy.
So I totally didn't realize that Kano, who is also on Gorillaz' White Flag with Bashi on Plastic Beach,
oh shit,
was also one of the main characters on Top Boy, which is a Netflix drama I've been really loving right now. It's like a crime family
That's
drama
interesting.
thing.
No, I know what it is because
Very
mom's
funny.
been watching it.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Roxanne Arias, also featuring on there, and so like it also adding like a sort of like a Spanish Latin American sort of flair to the middle of the song. Again, very short, but a really nice thing. I love all of the elements of it. I don't know if I like it all together yet.
That's a song that's gonna take time. It's gonna be like a lot of the songs on Humans, where Humans took maybe about 1.5 years for me to actually enjoy the album. That's one of the only songs that's going to take me a long time. And maybe the Pink Phantom, but that's just probably my personal bias against it. But anyways, and then after that you got Désolé.
My favorite Gorillaz song made of the decade, like of the past 10 years. Like I don't think Gorillaz have made a song as good as Désolé. That's my Aries.
That's your Aries. That's funny. We both have two. I knew there was two songs that we both like. Fantastic, and this is one of the top songs of the year too. I think Gorillaz, they made 2 of the best songs of 2020 so far, and it's very, very good.
Yeah. And Momentary Bliss, I did a similar, it's like a reversal. I like this very much at the end. When this was my first indication 100%. Of Gorillaz coming back in 2020, I was sweating a lot. I was very worried. Because especially coming after Humans and Now, I'm like, Damon, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah, I thought the same thing when I heard Momentary Bliss. I'm like, because I still don't like Slow Tie. I'm like, what is
He's
this
fighting this
song?
for me.
But yeah, in
like
the context of the album, it now makes sense. I understand where the song fits. It's a good ending track. It's weird as shit, but it's fine because this is a really strange album. There's a lot of different sounds on there. There's a lot of experimentation, a lot of trying to progress, do more things forward. But I think it's a perfect ending for this album. I like towards like the.
I like it's very punky and it's like loud. And it's like
I would say I like especially towards the middle end where it's just like and goes mental a little bit. Because like where they're just like yelling, going at it, for like an ending, this is a perfect concert ending song. Like everybody's just like fucking moshing, going mental. Shit's falling out in your little bubbles. Bubbles are popping around. People are falling down from bubbles, broken arms and shit.
People's needles,
but everybody
popping the bubbles.
So
and they get a little bit of opium, and that's where the encore starts.
That's where the encore starts, right? Earth Game pops on.
So yeah, like that would be the end of the album. That's 42 minutes.
Fantastic.
And goddamn, that was
one of my. So far, one of my favorite albums of the year. I still don't think it beats some of the other albums I've heard this year, but I'm going to wait until we go to the Audioface Awards to really go in there. But I have a short list of about 6 albums so far, and there's one I think that is still leading it, which you're going to be surprised.
Yeah, this will be an interesting year in the Audioface Awards.
And then you get to like, we could touch a little bit on some of the extended tracks.
I don't have much to say except for like a couple of them.
Opium, I like. It's cool. It's like it's interesting because Earthgang, it has those Afrobeats inspirations. I think it was really like that pop Afrobeat style, and I like it, especially towards the end. It's good
because it's like Opium has like this build up. There's a lot of things that are happening in Gorillaz albums I really like are the chaotic sort of drumming build up beginning, and then the crescendo to continue the rest of the song. And I'm so certain that pop part in the middle after the like kind of it really kicks off in the middle is going to be in a commercial of some kind.
I could see that.
It's too poppy. It's too kind of groovy.
I could definitely see that like, for sure.
It's a really good track. I think it's
almost like how randomly Home from Caribou is like playing in Targets now and stuff, which is like wild. But like I can understand that. And then the other songs, they're okay.
Simplicity is very like calming. It almost sounds like a now.
Yeah, Simplicity's okay. Severed Head with Gold Link and Unknown Mortar Orchestra, which is super random to have Unknown Mortar Orchestra on here.
Wait, you know Unknown Mortar Orchestra?
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, okay, yeah. They're just like a random indie band that I've seen pop up in my stuff for years.
That's interesting. That makes a lot more sense because I was originally going to say that Severed Head sounds a lot like a Gorillaz B-side, or should I say D-side, 68 State. It has this like really interesting sort of bassy thing to it. I think Gold Link's one of my favorite rappers. It's decent, but again, like not too overstated or understated, which is fine.
It's okay.
Yeah, I like the instrumental. With Love to an X, really nice vocalist from Moonchild, Senali, who's like a South African sort of rap artist. MLS is like literally my least favorite one on the entire thing.
This is my filler where I'm just like, I don't know what this is.
Yeah.
Featuring JPEG Mafia, okay, Deadmau5, and Chai.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
JPEG Mafia I'm iffy with. I've heard his stuff before.
Yeah. And then How Far is with Tony Allen Skepta, which is, the little...
Yeah.
Rest in peace. So.
Yeah, so Tony Allen. And I really do like the way Skepta fits on this. He's like not too out of place. Again, when I heard How Far, I'm like, I know this is like a thing where like, okay, we released this because Tony Allen died and we have like a tribute thing, but like I didn't know how it fit with like, okay, there's How Far and there's Momentary Bliss.
I really wish they would have switched Friday the 13th and How Far, and they would have put this on the album instead of Friday the 13th, and I think it would have actually flowed a little bit better.
Yeah, I feel like they put Friday the 13th because they just like the title and they really wanted to do it.
Probably.
But yeah, it's fine.
It's a good album. Yeah. Very, very good album.
Even in the
David,
deluxe...
stop fucking making music now. Stop.
Guess
I know you're on. I know you're already doing it. I know you're on an iPad right now somewhere in England going like, I'm gonna make some fucking music. Stop.
Guess what's literally happening?
Yeah.
So I can tell you the thing that I have more confidence in and the thing I have less confidence in. There's gonna be a Song Machine Season 2 next year.
Yep.
I'm almost like confident in that.
Yep.
There's a rumor that Jamie Hewlett is working with Netflix on a Gorillaz movie. Literally no Gorillaz movie has come to fruition ever.
I'm gonna say, how many times have I heard there's gonna be a Gorillaz movie? I've heard that since 2005.
I've heard that since 2003. They were supposed to be called Celebrity Takedown. It was like a continuation of the original Gorillaz album, but like that super didn't happen. Netflix does have a lot of money, and Jamie Hewlett is just like in it now, so I guess he will.
I mean, yeah.
But they're definitely like Damon and Jamie, more than they ever have before, are talking about like, yeah, we'll take a break around December or January, but we're gonna be right back at it soon. So next year, I'm not gonna listen to it all when we go in. We'll have October to kind of dissect it, and I guess this is like a little, at least for the next 2 years, a Gorillaz tradition. But the album overall was shorter than Humans.
Way shorter than Humans.
Even as deluxe,
way shorter than Humans, which is fine because...
Actually, yeah, well, as a deluxe, it's a couple minutes shorter, an hour and 9 minutes compared to like an hour and 7, but 26 songs as opposed to like...
a lot in Humans.
Yeah, 17.
Yeah, so anyways, this is our arbitrary scale this week is televangelist scandals. This is my solid favorite, Kenneth Copeland, where he goes on, oh my God, whoo, this is my favorite, where he said, he's one of those televangelists who just basically steals money from everybody and buys private jets and all this shit. But one of the many, the few, the proud. He justified his jet setting by saying that he cannot evangelize, if I could speak English, at Kanye. Without the aircraft. If I flew commercial, I'd have to stop 65% of what I'm doing. And also he said, I remember my favorite quote was a while ago in 2015. He said, flying commercial, like just commercial with people, is getting into a long tube with a bunch of demons.
Yes, the long tube with a bunch of demons.
And you're supposed to be preaching God's word. All right,
I'm sure Kenneth Copeland loves a lot of demon tube in his day, but
he probably likes a lot of demon days.
I didn't rate this yet, right?
Nope.
Okay, I'm giving this one to Pat Robinson. I have a very good reason why.
I love me some Pat Robinson,
because
baby.
The 700 Club has been on air longer than the fucking Flintstones, and that's what Damon Albarn's going to be doing, making music until he's 80 years old.
First off, how is Pat Robinson still alive, my guy? He's also looked 85 since like 1972.
The same steroids they gave Trump to get off of COVID.
Fucking deadass.